Okay guys, we are going to meet someone very special. You might know them. And they agreed to meet at one of your favorite restaurants, Abby, just so you be comfy. How cool is that?
Hi. Can you say hi?
Hi, Abby. Hello.
Can you say hi?
Hello, I'm
Hi.
Corey.
I'm Priscilla.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Trent and Andrea.
How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good job. Yeah. Hi.
Can you say hi?
How are you?
He's tall, huh?
He is tall. You look way taller in person.
We get that all the time.
Hi. I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure. Sure.
How you doing? Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm gonna sit down and have lunch, okay?
Come on, let's go.
Here, I'll do like Mexican. Oh yeah.
It's one of our favorite places.
Is it good? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Down here, you know, today not
Keep
so much,
sliding.
but
Keep sliding.
coloring.
Trent, you want to give this to Abby?
And but then
Look at that,
so he's
Abigail.
just like setting up his setting up his
I think that you got a present.
2016. And then the COVID happened.
Okay.
We had an online store. So
Look, kiddo. Look, there's a book.
we'll take a couple more minutes. Thank you.
Abby's gonna sign it for you and everything.
Oh, look at that. That's so
How
All right.
cool.
You want to do two? What do you just call her Abby all the time?
ABBIE, yep.
Okay.
How cool is that?
Ah,
Look out.
Look. And what do you
all
say?
right.
What do you say? You say thank you. Good
you.
job. Look at that.
That's so cool. That's really neat, guys.
Drawn to be you.
What do you guys like here?
So you guys authored this,
Here,
right?
will you put that over there so it doesn't?
And Trent drew it from what I was reading.
Yeah. So.
We did it backwards.
Yeah, we did it backwards. Trent, because of his processing with language, he gets asked to illustrate books all the time. People are like, "Hey, I've got this book. Can Trent illustrate it?" Like, no, because you can't read something and then comprehend it and then write in association with what he's read. That would be very difficult for him. And then he couldn't. Like when he draws a picture, he draws it and it's the way it is. Like it's not good. He's not going to change it for you.
Right.
So, but that's how you work as an illustrator. You draw some mock-ups and you send them and the author goes, well, I'd like this tweak or that tweak, and then you redo it. Well, he's not going to do that. So we just say no to every one of those offers. The only way he's going to get a book is if we write a book based on the drawings that he already has.
That's cool.
So
So he drew it and then you wrote it.
Yeah, I was
love
sitting at
that.
home one day. We'd been talking about a book and what would that look like and how would it be. And I found a sketchbook one day with a whole bunch of these animals, like this T-Rex with no teeth. So he drew a bunch of animals that were missing body parts. And he had written on the page what it was. So he wrote big head rhino. He wrote, there's another one. He's like,
chubby
there's
gorilla.
an elephant missing a trunk, elephant without ears. There's a maneless lion. That was a 2 legs rhino. And so I remember I called Andrea, I think, and I said, oh my goodness, I just found all these pictures. We've got the book.
He's like, this is the book.
Yeah.
Right here.
That's so cool.
So then the purple Alistair Hippo is one of his. Alistair shows up on a bunch of things, and we were working on the book. At first, it was like, well, maybe Trent narrates this. Talk about it from Trent's perspective, and then we were like, no, we can't do that because that's not authentic because Trent doesn't talk. So how could we say this is like narrated by Trent when we don't know? So anyway, we decided to use Alistair, his hippo, to narrate the book, and then so Alistair at the beginning talks about how Trent doesn't have struggles with language.
That's awesome.
So
That's a really good picture of you, Trent. That's so cool.
Yeah. Alistair was kind of already his
that.
character.
I love that he illustrated it first, and then you guys, it kind of fits into that whole like us fitting into their world type of thing instead of forcing them into ours.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So he said look at him. He said he's gonna draw you a bunny, giraffe, right? That's the ones you picked. Giraffe. Okay.
Bunny, giraffe.
She's looking at your picture of the giraffe to make sure you're doing a good job. She's supervising. Trent.
Look at it.
That's great.
He really took his time on those
You
spots.
did.
He doesn't always do that.
Oh, really?
Nice
Good
job.
job, Trinity. That's so good. Should we write to Abby on it? You want to?
You remember how to spell it? Yep.
Fantastic.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Here, can you take that from Trent? Hey,
Look. It's
do
your
you
bunny
say?
giraffe. Look at that.
what do you say?
Look, bunny giraffe. Thank you. That was so cool meeting Trent and family. It was great. We actually went and hung out with them at Happy Brew for their meetup just to hang out. Abby had respite, so we went up there. Just Priscilla and I did, and hung out with them, just chatting. We were like, these are fun people. We like them. These are our people. So went out and just chatted. It was great. I want to show you guys something. I got a bunch of stuff together. I had done an ink impression of Maverick's paw back about a month ago when we didn't know how much longer he had. So I got that and I put it in the shadow box for him. So that's the paw print they did in the like clay that Laps of Love does, and of course his collar. Put some photos that I printed off together in a collage, and then that is his hair from his ear, and put it into a shadow box. The reason why the hair is from his ear, the clay needs to dry a little bit longer, so gotta lay it down and prop it open so it'll get some air. But isn't that cool? Made a little shadow box off of Amazon. Just to have all this stuff, We'll probably put it in Priscilla and put it up in our room or something like that. But we'll prop that open, let some air get into it and get that clay to dry a little bit better. The reason why we got the hair from his ears because Abby used to stim on his ears. So thought that'd be appropriate. It is Saturday. It's a pool day. Sun's not out. I don't know what it's doing. It needs to get with the program. Some of that vitamin D, Abby even had her cereal outside because she did not wake up this morning. It is like noonish. It's like 11:30, I think. But she was up super late last night, like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. How was your cereal? Was it amazing? We were forced back inside because of the stormy weather. It's thundering and raining, and you could see, is one of those where you could see the wall of water coming towards you from the rain. It was pretty crazy. Big old fat raindrops. We have boxes everywhere. Okay. Priscilla got a bunch of stuff in. She does like gifts for her team at Palooza. We have Palooza coming up next month. So I can't show you what the gifts are. No. But there's 30. She had to do 30 gifts, so she has a whole bunch of things she puts together. They're always like, obviously, on theme, but
they're really cute.
They are cute. You did a good job. Thanks. Personalized gifts for all of them. So we have boxes upon boxes of things. And then No. Down there. Go down there with it. And then she got Isaiah. You guys see this? Look at this torture machine. Is this what it's for? Why do I look like I got in trouble in medieval times? I don't want to play a game. It's a leg massager. It's supposed to help with cellulite and stimulate. Put this on. Let me do it.
Sponsored thing?
Let me do it. No.
So I can make jokes about it? Because what the heck is that?
Mom got it on TikTok. Come here.
TikTok shop.
TikTok shop. That's horrible.
Dad does a little hard. He's really hard
Okay, I'll be gentle.
It was supposed to be soft.
I didn't even squeeze hard.
It's supposed to be soft on there.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
he does it. I know.
I kind of have to go to the bathroom. Oh.
So I'm barely putting pressure on it though, like that.
That's weird, dude.
Yeah.
Look at his leg. You left marks on his
There's
leg.
marks on me.
I'm not even squeezing hard.
Oh.
Put your arm in there. Wait a sec. Your arm's too skinny. You need to work out. So we'll just deploy the little boys.
What? Hey. Why are there little boys on it? They're detachable.
Docking procedure. How goofy is that?
That was a late night TikTok.
Late night TikTok purchase?
Match the spin, Tars.
But if I can give you a life tip, it's don't save your credit card to your phone. And then remember your QVC code. Because if you don't, you have to get up and get your credit card. If you do, then you're like, oh, this is easy.
CVC card. The CVC code.
CVV. CVC? What is it?
You say QVC, which is the shopping network.
Oh.
You're dating yourself right now.
But anyway, don't do that.
CCV?
Life tip.
Whoa, look at that rain. Yeah. I'm so glad that I just put 800 gallons of water in the pool because it was getting low. We haven't had rain in a few days, and it evaporates quickly here if you don't top it off every once in a while. But we got rain now. Good thing the yard had stopped growing quickly, so.
Mark really needed it.
We really needed this. Alright, I guess we're gonna put on real clothes and do stuff, huh? Got some good old steaks on the grill tonight. Eating a little bit late, that's alright. Kinda did everything late today. Abby slept late, so that always puts us back a little bit. It was really interesting and very cool meeting Trent and their family. You know, it's funny how wide of a spectrum, I guess, diverse of a spectrum the autism spectrum is, and just when you meet different people, and you know, they say like once you meet one person with autism, you met one person with autism, and there are people that are very similar, of course. Like there's going to be someone walking the earth that's very similar to me, and that's just how people are because there's so many people on the planet. There's so many people with autism, but there's always differences. I've never seen someone exactly like my child, you know? Trent is also considered nonverbal. He has a few words, but would still be considered nonverbal. A lot of times you can have, you know, if you have apraxia of speech, it could be in the form of like echolalia, where you'll hear the child speak. They'll repeat things that they hear, but it's still considered nonverbal because it's not spontaneous, independent language. And I'm not a speech and language pathologist, so I often say things the wrong way. However, that's my understanding of it. There are levels of, you know, non-speaking, non-verbal vocal people where she's never spoken a word, but she is still very communicative. Trent is considered nonverbal, you know, but he does have a few words, so that's. And I wonder what like the measurement is, the cutoff is for that, I guess. I'm not sure. But he also, you know, cannot live independently, just like Abigail cannot, and requires that one-on-one care. But then Trent has this incredible gift, you know, where he is able to draw and create art just from someone's description like that, and so quickly and efficiently, and it's so impressive. I mean, it is absolutely, to see in person, seeing online doesn't do it justice. It is so cool to see in person, to see him do it. His memory of how to spell Abby's name from when he signed her book to when he, you know, drew her art, there was a good amount of time between that, and you know, when he signed her art and put her name on there, that he spelled it, like, remembered that, you know. It's just so easy to look at somebody and immediately judge a book by the cover, you know, and to immediately assume, you know, that's why they talk about that assumed confidence, you know. They take in so much of the world around them. They really do. Yeah, what an incredible gift he has, though, you know? And he's been able to use that gift to reach others and touch the hearts of others and to create awareness and stuff like that and to show how different people are from one person to the next on the autism spectrum. You know, him and Abigail are very similar. He's 7 years older than her, but they are very similar in a lot of ways, but then so very different in other ways, you know? And I think a lot of that comes down to interest, too. Like, he obviously has a lot of interest in art. Abigail has zero interest in art. When we were talking about Maverick and, you know, whether or not Abigail misses Maverick and how that dynamic works, and, you know, if she even understands, you know, him being gone, you know, understands death in any capacity and whatnot. Somebody had commented and they said that they disagree with me completely because they themselves have autism and they definitely miss people and, you know, understand and mourn death and stuff like that. And, you know, not to call that person out at all. They got, you know, most people, they only know their own life experiences. And, you know, I continue to remind people, like, especially if you have autism yourself and you've experienced other people on the spectrum, then you fully know, like, how vast and wide and different everybody is from one to the next. Yeah, we did talk about that in previous vlogs. There is certainly a cloud, a gloomy cloud over the house, you know, like you would expect. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if Abigail senses that, feels that, misses Maverick, recognizes any of that. It's so hard to tell because of that language deficiency. It's hard to tell. I don't know. Is my best answer. I don't know. We can all guess. We can all assume. But one of the things that she does is she'll start cracking up at what seems to be random moments. No reason at all, just hysterical laughter. Then other times she'll just start sobbing, crying. And someone else had commented, and they talked about how their son always shows these delayed reactions to things. And I was like, you know, we think that's true for Abigail as well. We think that she has, like, significantly, days later, delayed reactions to something that happens in her life that causes her sadness or anger or happiness. That, you know, it's almost like, you know, people process things at different times, so that's not crazy to think that she's processing this stuff even days later, you know? I mean, it would certainly explain her reaction to things like that when she has those moments, because I can't explain it otherwise. Like, why would someone just start sobbing, crying all of a sudden? Nothing caused them pain, nothing in the room changed, it's just out of the blue. That steak is done. Crying. Beautiful. A little bit of char on the fat there, and the flames. I love it. Oh, that's hot. Dang. Thinner steaks for the ladies, thicker ones for the boys. Not because I'm sexist, but because we eat more. Food for thought, though. Go check out Trent's content. Go check him out on Instagram, TikTok, all the places. He really is doing a cool thing, creating a whole bunch of awareness in our community, and just positive vibes, you know? Happiness. You can't argue that we don't need more of that in this world. Alright. Time to eat.
Ow! The clear show of force.
Get it, man. Get it, man.
Stop pushing me. Stop pushing me.
Get it, Mav. Use your feet. Use your feet. Speaking of Mav, we heard fireworks a little bit ago. Do people in your area light off fireworks well before the holiday? Just to, like, they do around here.
Well, I think it was probably from the game.
Oh, was it from the game?
Baseball game.
No, they do it on Friday nights. They don't do
Friday and Saturday.
Oh, okay. Well, they'll be doing it from between now and the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Anyway, when we heard fireworks, it made us think of Maverick, because one thing Priscilla said was like, at least he doesn't have to deal with fireworks this year, because he hates fireworks. The other two don't care, but he hates them.
Yeah.
Poor fella.
Well, we don't know about Brazil.
You might want a drink?
She doesn't care. She ain't scared of nothing. I love this Saturday vibe app.
She's still in a bathing suit.
Yeah, bathing suit top. The shorts are regular shorts, but she's like, nah, bathing suit top, staying on.
I'm just saying, do you think the pan's gonna get clean like that?
Yeah, I do.
Are you sure?
Yep.
You don't. I mean, it might be worth a retry. I just want to make sure. Hey, my dad always said that if you do a job right once, you don't have to do it twice.
That is so true.
So, why half behind it? Dang it! Now my legs are wet. That's the worst. It's all down my feet. Give me paper towel. Hey, paper towel.
Yeah, my kitchen. Know your place. This ain't it.
I know my plates, and that's not gonna get clean.